I got Gigi with me. Gigi wanted to come down and come on with me. So here we go. Oh, here we got Gigi. Gigi, you gonna stop attacking my face? Yeah, you're not. This is what she likes to do. Watch. She's gonna give me a sneak attack on a chomp to the face. Yep, that's how she rolls. Hey everybody, it's Ed and Gigi, and we are live. And I unfortunately I'm not feeling well. I kind of finally tested positive for the you know what, but thank God it hasn't been horrible. Hasn't been great, but hasn't been horrible, so it's all good. Today I was going through some things and I saw that I had quite a few more than I realized. Now, uh, talking a little bit about Kevin Gray. Kevin Gray, who used to help at Friday Music back when they started pressing a lot of the Elvis material. And I have come to learn that it looks like he did approximately 6 different records when he worked for Friday Music. And however, I also found that there were some other Elvis records that he had worked on as well. And from what I understand, I don't know if if Kevin Gray actually helps with the mastering itself, or if he just actually cuts the lacquers uh, for what become the vinyl records. I was trying to do some research into it, but all I know is like when I read message boards and other opinionated type websites, it appears that a lot of people seem to think that Kevin Gray, whatever he touches, is gold. So apparently, a lot of these records are, I guess, highly sought after. Because I also found out that I also have some other albums that are not Elvis that were cut by or possibly mastered by Kevin Gray as well. And I gotta say, those albums do sound phenomenal. So it's pretty funny how I had read about how great his albums sound, and the ones that I find out that I have that are made by him really do sound freaking good. So I thought I would go through some of those albums, and also if you're interested in finding out if you have any albums by Kevin Gray, there is a good way to find out, and I'm going to show you how. Of course, you can always Google search and do stuff like that. But I'm just saying, if you have an actual album and you're not sure, I'm gonna point it out to you. Now, this was the 40th anniversary release of the Madison Square Garden concert. This came out in 2012. And it did say here, original historic concert, newly remastered, now on 2 LPs. And it was sourced from the original master tapes on audiophile 180 gram vinyl. Now, I have come to learn that Kevin Gray worked on this or did the mastering or the cutting on it. Now, the way that you can find it, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. I'm going to try my best to show you. But what you have to do is you have to look inside the dead wax. And the dead wax, of course, is the non-music wax that is, that is near the end of the record before the label. Now, in here, I'm going to see if I can focus on it, and hopefully you'll be able to see it. But in the dead wax, hopefully you can see the initials KG. And what else does it say? And, oh, wait. Actually, it's 3 initials. It's KAG, I believe, and CA. Oh, I don't know. But sometimes Kevin Gray, in the dead wax, it would either be KG or there would be a middle initial in there. So if you see a K with a middle initial and a G, it's Kevin Gray pressing. Okay, it's kind of like if you're familiar with this is one example I can think of, Led Zeppelin 2. If you get the one with the dead wax that has RL, I believe, for Robert Ludwig, which is the Robert Ludwig pressing. Apparently, those are highly collectible and highly sought after. All right, now another one that I found that Kevin Gray also did It said it was the Newberry Comics exclusive for Elvis at Stax, but I believe he also did the original Elvis at Stax pressing. Now, I don't have that one open, but I do have the test pressings. And sure enough, on the test pressings, on the dead wax, we are going to find, let me just get it so I can show you guys easily. It might not be very easy to show, but it's KG and CA. So again, we have, can you see it? I don't know. I don't know if it's showing up, but there it is. So again, Kevin Gray. So if you're interested, if any of your albums are done by Kevin Gray, that is one way to find out. All right, so far we had the Madison Square Garden, and we had the Elvis at Stax. All right, and the rest I believe that I have here as far as the Elvis ones go are the Friday Music ones. Now, regarding the Friday Music, on the back cover, if Kevin Gray was involved, it does say it, but there's two of them that do not mention that Kevin Gray was involved. This one says mastered from the original RCA Victor tapes for vinyl by Joe Raguso at Friday Music Studios with Kevin Gray. So here we have Moody Blue. So that's a Kevin Gray one. This is highly sought after. Friday Music pressing of Aloha from Hawaii via satellite. All right, this one also Kevin Gray. And this one is very cool in the sense that not only, of course, do we have the KG in the dead wax, but there's also other messages in this dead wax as well. Let's see if I can show you that. First of all, let's see if I can get you to see the KG. No, of course not. Well, why would this show? All right, I'm sorry. Oh, maybe you can see it there. It's all the way in the corner. All right, but there's other messages in this dead wax that says, what does it say? Adopt a hound dog today. That's in the dead wax here. I don't know if you could see that. Adopt a hound dog today. And this one says, welcome to my world. And then I think on the other record, one side says Aloha Elvis. And I forget what the other one says. I think this was the only Elvis record that has hidden messages in the dead wax that I'm aware of. Elvis Lives. And yeah, Aloha Elvis. So that's kind of neat. I like when you find stuff like that too. I think that's pretty cool. You're not expecting it. And you see the hidden messages. All right, but yes, there is a KG for Kevin Gray on this one as well. And this is a really good pressing. This one sounds really, really freaking good. All right, another favorite of mine. I'm glad that he touched this one. I was disappointed when I found out that he didn't do That's the Way It Is, but he did work on From Elvis in Memphis, and this does sound amazing. This sounds really, really good. So, you know, it's funny. Like I said, the ones that I've listened to, and I'm like, wow, these sound great. It's good to know that Kevin Gray did work on these. All right. He also did a Date with Elvis from Friday Music. All right, which also I have this one on test pressing as well. All right, now this one he's not mentioned on here, but according to the internet and according to Discogs, I haven't opened this one, so I haven't checked the dead wax, but you know, I could always do that, and I probably will eventually. But this one apparently was done by Kevin Gray as well. All right, and this one, it's not mentioned on the cover at all. I also have another pressing that I've checked, and I can't find any information as to whether or not Kevin Gray is on it or not. However, again, when I looked on the dead wax, my open one, it does have KG on it, so Kevin Gray did work on this one as well. All right, and then we have Loving You, which it mentions on the back of the cover that he did work on it. And then last but not least, as far as the Friday music, this is the other, or the last one I should say, Elvis's second album that Kevin Gray worked on. So there you go. Gigi wants to be let upstairs. Give me a minute, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Thank you. All right, so yeah, so there you have it. Now, I also found out, like I said, that there were a couple of other albums that I have that. Sorry about that. Somebody's trying to call my phone. So yeah, there are a couple other albums that I found that I have that were done by Kevin Gray. Give me a second, I'll pull them up. I'll show you which ones. One I think is I know it's pretty hard to get now. Remember, I think I got it back in like 2010, something at Best Buy, and it was relatively cheap. And wait, I'm just trying to find the second one that I know of. These two I know of. I may even have more. But yeah, huge Kinks fan as well as an Elvis fan. This was released on a record store day. I forget what year. But this was a Friday music release, and it says it was, in the dead wax, it definitely has KG on there for Kevin Gray. So this was cut by Kevin Gray. And then the other one is Van Halen's debut album. And I remember when I came across this in Best Buy about a decade ago, and I saw it, I was like, for 25 bucks, I was like, you know what, it'll always be good to have an upgrade. Not knowing it was cut by Kevin Gray. And apparently right now, this is highly sought after and hard to get, so excellent album. It does sound amazing. And I was actually, that was one thing I remember was when I picked this up and threw it on my turntable, I was amazed at how freaking great it sounded. I was like, wow, this sounds. I thought it was better than the original, but again, just amazing, absolutely amazing. So Kevin Gray apparently is, he's worth the hype, and it's funny how I just came across learning about him and knowing about his work, and technically agreeing with what I was reading because just based on my listening experience to his work, and it's been very pleasant. So it's good stuff, in my opinion. So I hope everybody's doing well. I've been not paying attention to the comments. I apologize. Um, okay, yeah. So some of you are aware of Kevin Gray. I'm seeing in the comments. Arthur, thank you. Kevin Gray is a mastering engineer, and yes, he is one of the best. So again, I understand that as far as Kevin's abilities, it really he can only do, I guess, with what's given to him. I mean, as far as if he's just doing the cutting of the records, so I guess whatever mix or master, then he gets it from there, and then he puts whatever he gets onto, a record. But if he's doing the mastering himself and then cutting it, I understand that it's usually a lot better uh, product. So I don't know. Again, the more I know, the less I know. But yeah. So what's good out there? I'm not feeling so hot, but I'm not feeling so terrible either. So I should be. I'm grateful. Yeah. Aren't these digital? That's a good question, Robbie. I believe that a lot of them are, but I think that some of them aren't because, again, from what I understand, and what it says on some of these earlier ones. All right, for example, let's go with the second album. So if Kevin Gray's name is attached to the back, from what I understand, they did work from the original mono tapes. But now, whether or not they were first generation tapes The second generation tapes, I don't know. I can only go by what they say. It says, mastered from the original RCA Victor monophonic tapes for vinyl by Joe Ragasso at Friday Music Studios with Kevin Gray. Now, does that mean that, they took the tapes? Uh, yeah, I mean, look, first of all, no matter what, it's going from analog to digital, or it could be going from digital to digital. Either way, I don't. Again, I don't pick up on every little pithy nuance. I can't imagine. I mean, unless it's mixed or mastered in a way where it's deliberately taking away something or adding something that I can't really discern the difference. Um, Again, I don't have bionic hearing. I don't consider myself an audiophile. I mean, I like to think that I can consider between crappy sound and good sound, but I don't feel that I can get every little pithy nuance and just be able to, um, you know, discern between all of these different sonics that are on there. The best sounding releases, in my opinion, are the original releases. There are some exceptions out there, but um, I think for the most part that the original releases are the best. But again, there are some of these Friday music ones that I think sound phenomenal. I think the Christmas album sounds phenomenal. Elvis's Christmas album, I think, from Elvis in Memphis. I think from Aloha from Hawaii. Again, a lot of these Kevin Gray ones sound really good. And then you have some of the later pressings that are using the digital masters or transfers from Vic Anasini. And then they are putting them on vinyl, and they sound great. So again, I guess it depends on who's doing the mixing and the mastering and everything else. But I don't know. Japanese Aloha is good. I don't have that one. I have the Japanese Madison Square Garden and the Memphis concert. Don, how are you? Curtis, what's going on? Blue Moon Boy, Marcus, Robbie, Jonathan. Yeah, well, that's where I was actually reading mostly about him, was on the Steve Hoffman website. I did a Google on his name, and that came up. And I don't really do a lot of these message boards, or you know, I just I don't get involved in them. So, but I guess it's good to see different people's opinions on certain things, and that's where I got most of, or a lot of my information, I should say, not most of it. But Discogs as well. Somebody had some lists up on Discogs of all different albums that Kevin Gray had worked on, and so as far as the list that was on that was definitely incomplete. And then there was another page with another list that had like thousands of things that he had worked on there. So I didn't even get through that whole list. But that's where I did find that he worked on the Van Halen and the Kinks albums as well. Which again, all right here. Kinks one is cool too because not only is this a great album, this was their last studio album called Phobia. Check out this vinyl. Very cool. Nice. I do have some FTD CDs, but not as much as you would think. My CD FTD collection pales in comparison to my FTD vinyl collection. I think I may have like 11 or 12 FTD CDs. Not exactly sure. But mostly classic album series. Um, a couple of other different ones as well. But I don't know if I think I did do a video on them way back when. I don't know if it's still up. It may be. It may not be. I don't know. So what's everybody doing this fine afternoon? I'm probably gonna rest again. I'm so shot. I'm so shot. I've been up since 4, and I'm not really feeling 100%. I'm not feeling terrible either, though. Thank good God. And I just yeah, like really fatigued. But other than that, it could be so much worse. Yeah. All right. I don't know, guys. I'm kind of spacing out, so I thought I'd be all right to go on for a bit, but I'm thinking I'm gonna cut it off and just go rest again. So I appreciate you watching, and I hope everybody's doing okay. Stay safe out there, and be good to yourselves, be good to each other. Take care, everybody.